I love this stuff. It's so cool. I might have sprayed too much. See, today I want to sit down and talk about your wedding videography business plan. Look, just come here. Listen to me. I know it sounds intimidating and I know it sounds challenging, but you can do this. I believe in you because I was once in your shoes. Whew. Okay. Well, what's up everybody? My name is Ross Barnett, and for the last 7 years, I have been a full-time videographer focusing on live events. And a good bit of those live events have been weddings. The company I started with a good friend of mine, Two Fly Guys Media, films about 60 to 70 weddings a year right now. And it's all built around this business model that I'm about to show you. So if you're interested in learning how I manage a small team filming and editing 70 wedding films a year, or interested in how I got started, this business plan is for you. Now, let's start off by talking about the early stages. I'm gonna go out on a whim here, but a lot like people say your first 100 YouTube videos don't matter, your first 5 to 10 wedding films don't necessarily need to be a consistent style. Yes, you'll need to spend this time developing a style and seeing what works best for you and your clients, like whatever they like best. But don't fixate on having a specific style locked in within your first wedding film. Spending this time researching, seeing what you like and don't like, seeing what others in your area are putting out, and how you can emulate that or make it better. The early stages are about learning your style and advertising that style. So don't feel like you have to lock in immediately to a specific style of wedding film. You've got time for that. So how do you book your first client? This is honestly going to be the easiest time of booking in your career. Your first 3 to 5 wedding films need to be 100% from friends or friends of friends connections. Low stakes. Let them know that you're just beginning. There are always people out there looking for a budget videographer, and your beginning stages is the perfect time to charge a beginning rate to lock in a few clients. My first 3 wedding clients all charged $800, and the next 3 all I charged under $1,500. There were low stakes and low barrier to entry in the beginning. But these weddings will still be a foundation for you moving forward and for growing your business. Find some friends who need a videographer on a budget and go do an incredible job. Now, keep in mind that just because you're learning your style and you're cheaper than the competition doesn't mean that you have an excuse to be worse. The early stages of your business, and ideally the entire business, should all be about under-promising and over-delivering. Go do an incredible job because you want to serve your clients well, but also go do an incredible job because these first few videos will be a great foundation of your career moving forward. I can go back to the early stages of my career in early 2018 and rewatch some of the wedding films that I made. Although there have been some serious audio and camera upgrades, and I've changed up the style a good bit overall as well, I've grown. Then the foundations of the videos in the beginning are still good to this day. And that's because I spent so much time on them making the best that I could for my clients. So if I could leave you with this one section here, it's always to underpromise and always to overdeliver, especially on your first few films. So after you've had a few weddings from a few friends under your belt, it's time for your next step. And up next, your website. Now that you had a few weddings under your belt, it's a great time to have a site where those videos and your offerings can be posted. In the wonderful world of social media, people sometimes put a website aside and don't create a website, and that is a huge mistake. A website still is the place where you want to drive traffic to, regardless of your social media presence. You can set up forms for contact forms that can go directly to your email and just overall have a professional looking feel instead of someone DMing you on Instagram. Speaking of websites, today's sponsor is Squarespace. I'm actually kidding, I don't have any sponsors, but I've always wanted to say that out loud, so here we are. But my first website was actually hosted on Squarespace, and it's still a great platform to get a few videos up and get a professional looking website. Regardless, get a website and get that thing set up and use it as a host of all of your favorite work and the way to lock in new clients. Now, before we share the next step, which I think is one of the most important steps, it's time for a quick word on subscribing to this channel. You see, I started this YouTube channel a little over a month ago, and we're on a mission here to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. And we're almost halfway there, and I believe that we can do it. So if you're learning anything from this, go ahead and click that subscribe button and follow along for more. It'll help a ton. Now, up next, let's talk about advertising. Now, I'm going to tell you something here that worked phenomenally for me, But your results definitely will vary depending on your location and how large of a city you're near or located in. In May of 2018, I had 4 weddings total under my belt, and I took a leap of faith to start paying $500 a month to advertise on the Knot and Wedding Wire in my local area. This gave me a front page advertising for both the Knot and Wedding Wire in Charleston, South Carolina, and in Savannah, Georgia. Both cities are about 2 hours apart. Now, I say it was a leap of faith because when you first sign up, they made you sign a year-long contract for the first year, and that was valued at $6,000 that I did not have at the time. All I had was 4 weddings that I had filmed and made a grand total of $5,600 over the last year on them. So it was definitely a leap of faith. But the way I looked at it, since I was charging $1,500 per wedding, all I needed on the Knot and Wedding Wire was to book 1 wedding per month and I would be set. And that's exactly what happened. Starting in May of 2018 with 1 scheduled on the calendar, the Knot and Wedding Wire helped fill my calendar where I was able to book a total of 12 weddings for the remainder of 2018. And this continued to go on to book just under 30 for 2019, where 18 bookings came directly from the Knot and Wedding Wire. Now, I say your results may vary because I've heard some really good results and I've also heard some not so great results from the Knot and Wedding Wire. However, when I look back on my career as a videographer, it is one of the first things that got the ball rolling to book more clients that I could reach a broader market to rather than just my friends. And it's done me so well, and we still pay for that service to this day. Now, as the ball gets rolling, we need to add in an important piece here: networking. See, you can't just rely on your friends' connections and your one source of advertising to land a sustainable business. Sure, it might work for a while, but if your business is going to thrive and not just survive, you'll need to land a few additional streams of income through it. And that's where networking comes in. Although networking is a little further down on the list here, it is still important to be implementing this from day one. To keep things simple, I'll focus on the heavy hitters here. You'll be working alongside some awesome wedding planners and some awesome wedding photographers along the way, especially in your early years. These wedding planners and photographers need to be your friends. Be nice to these people. Serve these people well, because they might be sending you more business over and over in the years to come. Creating connections with wedding planners, venues, photographers, and anyone else in the vendor space will only create a snowball effect of clients that you're able to attract. Between your social media, advertisements like the Knot and Wedding Wire, past clients recommending you to their friends, and connections with wedding planners and photographers, you will be unstoppable. That networking piece is so huge, and it's less about giving a wedding planner your contact or sending them an email saying, hey, send me more clients. It's really all about being a joy to work with and being fun to be around. You need to create a culture of serving others in your business as a business where vendors will really have a good time working with you. Be a likable person, love what you do, and be good at it. That's the best way to network. A lot of people associate network with just meeting people, but it is so much more than just meeting people. It's creating a long-term friendship and a long-term relationship. Now, let's talk about scalability. From what I've seen, there are 2 main ways to scale a wedding videography business. Option 1 is to get good enough and to be desired enough that you can slowly raise your prices through the roof and only accept about 8 to 12 clients a year. At this point, you're still pretty much doing all of the creative work yourself, but with a limited client base, you're able to make 6 figures on a short client list for the year. Goals, right? And then you have option 2, which is the route that I went. This is to hire on talented editors and other lead videographers to be able to accept multiple weddings per date. So you're able to grow volume with incremental price increases every year. This option has a tendency to create a larger cash flow by volume, but you're definitely in charge of managing a team and trusting others with your pride and joy of your business. This entire section on scalability is the last step and something that I'm still working on growing and developing daily in my current work. We didn't start to scale until I was personally doing about 40 weddings a year all by myself. And then the growth through 2020 into 2021 forced us to scale, which I'm so thankful that I did. Now I have 2 full-time editors working for TwoFly, and I'm able to manage and shoot with my team every single weekend. It's a unique spot that I'm loving every single day. Now, here's the deal. I know that not every videographer in every city will be able to take exactly what I've done or even need to take the exact steps of what I did to make a thriving and successful wedding videography business. There are a million different ways to get where you want to be. But I definitely still believe this business plan is still possible in 2023 and beyond, especially for those looking to take on weddings and grow a successful wedding videography business. I'm just here to explain and hopefully help someone learn and know just how I did it. This wasn't always my plan. Actually, wedding videography wasn't even always my plan. But looking back on the last 6 to 7 years of business, it is exactly what I did, and I couldn't be more thankful for the steps along the way. If you're looking for more information on event videography, the business behind it all, I'd love for you to follow along. You see, we're on a mission here to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2023, and I definitely think we can make it happen. I'll see you guys on the next video.